Hello, everyone. My name is Keenan, and my project is called Growing Green Spaces, Understanding the Insights of Community Leaders Working Towards Expanding Nature Access. My site supervisor was Alicia Keefe, and my faculty advisor was Tim Billow. So to start with some background, spending time in nature provides many physical, mental, and social health benefits. And marginalized communities often face unequal green space access due to structural barriers related to historical discriminatory housing practices and disproportionate investment patterns. Community-based green space initiatives can help address these disparities while also prioritizing community agency and identity. So this project investigates what motivates community leaders working on these green space initiatives and what barriers limit equitable green space access efforts. So that leads me into my research questions, which are what motivates community leaders to promote equitable green space access, and what barriers limit community capacity to sustain these initiatives, and what strategies can help overcome them. So for my internship, I worked with the UW Center for Health and Nature. I had the opportunity to observe a quarterly meeting of the Northwest Nature and Health Coalition, and I also attended the 2026 annual Northwest Nature and Health Symposium, which I included a photo of. The primary goal of my internship was creating a directory of nature and health champions, and my final version contains 60 plus community leaders from various fields working on green space initiatives primarily across the Pacific Northwest. Trusted community leaders are incredibly important at bridging the gap between academia and community members because community connection is something that's often lacking in research. So this directory will be a useful tool that the UW Center for Nature and Health can use to aid in future collaboration and connection. Along with creating the directory, I also conducted interviews and surveys with community leaders to collect qualitative data about their motivations, barriers, and additional insights into community preferences. In total, I gathered 70 survey responses and completed 7 semi-structured interviews. So moving on to results, in terms of motivations, I found that community leaders are mainly motivated by the collective physical and mental health benefits of green spaces. As you can see, I included a graph, which is showcasing my survey responses, and those are at the top, and close behind are environmental benefits and improved social connections. And other responses are significant too, but less frequent. Many interviewees had previous firsthand experience with nature, which helped inspire their work. So it shows that there's kind of a snowball effect. As more people have access to green spaces in nature, they will be more inspired to engage in this sort of work. Survey results related to barriers were much more fragmented, with inaccessibility due to distance being the top response at about 64%. After that is physical and psychological safety. And this also related to interviews as multiple community leaders spoke about how the public's perceived safety risks related to houselessness are a significant challenge. And these also transfer into hostile design decisions that exclude amenities like benches, overhead coverings, and public restrooms, which further act as a barrier to engagement with green spaces. Lack of transportation was also significant. Additional interview findings include funding challenges both at larger national and smaller municipal scales, language inaccessibility in multiple realms, including a lack of translations on signage for parks and trails, and online platforms that allow people to reserve green spaces for large gatherings. Lack of culturally relevant and appealing green spaces was another prominent barrier, and this leads into the last one, which is low community engagement, which can make it difficult to sustain these initiatives because they often rely on volunteer labor and community input that ensures green spaces are culturally appropriate. So moving on to solutions and takeaways, starting with it depends. Green space efforts must be community specific to address unique challenges, desires, and needs. Boosting community participation is incredibly important to ensuring that green space initiatives are relevant to the community. And some strategies to effectively increase this include providing meetings at varied times, translation, childcare, transportation options, and financial compensation for time. The next solution is make it fun. Holding various enticing and culturally relevant events for all different age groups encourages people to interact more with their local green spaces. Collaboration is key. Partnerships can help address barriers and are necessary for bridging gaps between public, private, nonprofit, and academic realms. Small changes make big differences. Simple solutions like opening existing schoolyards to the public after school hours and small neighborhood projects like guerrilla gardening play a huge role. And finally, it is crucial to illuminate information, as making the knowledge about health benefits of nature more accessible and visible is key to informing, inspiring, and including people. So, moving on to significance, these findings are significant because they provide insight into how community-based green space initiatives can be better supported, which can help inform future policy, research, and outreach. This also emphasizes the importance of listening to community voices in planning, design, and engagement processes, which is incredibly important in the context of underrepresented communities. And lastly, my project highlights the crucial role that community leaders play in connection, advocacy, and action. I'd like to thank my site supervisor, Alicia Keith, and faculty advisor, Tim Billow, for their help and support, and also my family and partner for their continuous feedback and support throughout this. So thank you so much for listening to my capstone presentation, and I hope you enjoyed.